What are there any things that you were looking for, like possible events after listing that you think could cause this thing to fly?
I don't know about fly, but
Uh-huh.
listing allows you to do secondary offerings easily. So whether a rights issue or an APO,
Mm-hmm.
I do see them raising money afterwards for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
How long
if you
after you
look at
think?
probably not too long after, because look,
We said
did you
not
see
too
how much
long. What do you
cash they
mean?
have? I mean, within the like 6 months of listing, maybe, because I don't think they have
So
much cash on hand,
2026.
Yeah, early 2026.
I think they're gonna
Like
APO.
they literally have. I think it was less that I don't remember how much cash they had, but it was a tiny amount of cash, like
Mm-hmm.
tiny, tiny. There was when I saw it, I was just like, liquidity might actually be a big concern for them. So and I see
Mm-hmm.
a lot of companies raising money to one. If you're in a debt crunch, like if you have debt that you need to pay off,
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll raise money to pay off some of that debt. Same
Mm-hmm.
debt we spoke about, which was the bonds, and then two, you probably need working capital or so on. So they might come to the market and be like, "Yo, we need cash to do this."
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an APO. Uh, I always want a rights issue, but we rarely ever see rights issues. So it's crazy how the default is like an APO.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but
So I think we should even explain APO. The additional public offering
a
would
public
be,
offering.
so they as this, if say this is successful listing, they're listed on the stock market. They're selling the shares, as I said, at 50 cents, and say someone it's trading around. I mean, we don't know where it will trade after. We'll say it's trading at like 50 cents or so. They could say 1 year down the line, hey, we are going to create some new shares, and we're going to give you these new shares at, I mean, they're probably likely to do it as a discount, whatever the share price is. So they might say, hey, we're going to sell you shares at 40 cents, and you can buy, I don't know how big the APO would be, maybe a couple of billion or something like that. And they say, hey, we're going to raise this billion or whatever. And you can now buy these shares at 40 cents. So if you were someone who wanted a large volume of shares and these shareholders weren't going to sell a lot, we're going to bring in some new shareholders, dilute the existing shareholders,
Mm-hmm.
and then raise some money. They could buy some, like we mentioned before, they had those, what do you call those, containers or whatever, with the different oils and products that they sell. They're saying, hey, we have more customers. They want, like, we're storing the 600,000 or whatever barrels, but the amount of business we're doing now, it could almost be empty. We don't want that. So we want even more space. Or,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, wait, not really empty, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they want to do more business. So they
Yeah.
say, hey, we have more customers. They want more oil, more products like this. Let's upgrade it to 1 million barrels or 800,000 barrels. Let's increase it. That's going to cost a certain amount of money. They might borrow some money and do it too, but they say, hey, let's also do that. So a mixture of foreign money and then also ownership in the company, equity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
think
some of the things
that's what they're gonna do?
well, I mean, they say that is, they're probably going to do it at some point. I don't know exactly when. I don't ever necessarily say 1 year from now so much.
I mean, I think they
But
need the cash.
one of the things I didn't like, didn't you never thought that they could have probably given us some more recent financials?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2024 is a bit late, yes.
Okay, if you think about it, if it's, yeah, it's right, we're recording now. It's basically the end of 2025. You don't think
Mm-hmm.
they could have given us like the first 6 months of 2025
Yeah,
or
that
something?
would be nice.
Yeah.
That's like Dequity's prospectus too. They also didn't give us recent financials, and I don't
Mm.
know.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Some of the things I was looking at though, which I guess trying to look ahead, like in terms of things that could greatly increase the value of the business. You mentioned before that they have essentially what they do. They just store these oil products, and then if you have a ship, a cargo ship, a cruise ship, or whatever that needs these different products, you say, hey, so they aren't the ones actually buying the oils, right? That's not the company that is being listed that we're talking about. No, they're not the ones that actually buy it and have to work out the price with the negotiator or whatever. They just store it, and then whoever buys and stores it, it's almost like a rental. So if
you pay for the storage space.
Yeah, so it's like just like how you can, those, I don't know if they have a lot of them in Jamaica, but I know in like the US they have container companies or something where you can have a storage unit.
Yeah.
So you could legit just say, okay, in my house I have enough space to store some stuff. I will rent this. I will buy my own items and then just put them in here, and I just pay you to store the items there. Yeah, so it's basically that kind of thing. But then I guess there's also the distribution part that they get money from too. So they're actually moving it to wherever. But yeah, they mentioned that, I'm trying to see where it was. They mentioned that there were some projects that they were working on, like possible deals to sign to basically help, I guess get more business. I don't know if you saw. I found it. So let me share.
As in the regional ones?
Yeah. So they say.
Yeah.
So they say, or we own storage assets in. Oh, hold on. Yeah, they want to own storage assets in Jamaica and the Caribbean. They say Panama and the Bahamas have been identified as strategic locations for the region and the company's expansion. So I guess you could even look into maybe there's specific. What if you see online that there is just like a similar setup here, just like how they have this, I don't know what you call it. What's the term that they use for the thing that they store the oil and stuff in? Like terminal? Is terminal the right word?
I don't know. I just say storage unit for now.
Storage capacity, yeah. I kind of wants to use the word, but I don't know.
You can probably find it. So you're saying that some of the funds that they possibly can raise from a secondary offering could probably be used.
Well, we're not necessarily secondary offering, but just in general.
Yeah. I mean, how else would they get funds? They're levered right now, and they have barely any cash on hand. I don't see them taking out.
Well, hold on, you don't know. Remember, you don't have the financials of
true
2025.
Facts. You're so right. Yeah, we have no recent financials.
Yeah, that was the financials you talk about was legit. Think of it, a year ago.
Yeah, it's literally
a lot can change in a year. Things can remain the same in a year also, but a lot can change in a year. I don't know.
Yeah.
But true, I was just thinking like, hey, they're talking about, hey, they want to push into Panama, Bahamas. What if you were to go on Google and say, hey, what if there is an asset like a Panama oil storage container up for sale because they're bankrupt, like a Panama company is bankrupt. And then that would be somewhere you could look and say, hey, if I find that company and I'm like, hey, that company is bankrupt. And then you could say, hey, there are other companies who could buy it, obviously, but you might say, hey, what's going on there? What if you see one of the CEOs of the company post on Instagram, hey, he's in the Bahamas, #working. I don't think I do that still, but I'm just thinking that things like that where if you could try to say, wait, they might bid on something like this. And then if they were to bid on something like this and they could, like, if it's a distressed situation, might get something on the cheap. Yeah. Imagine buying something that really could be like it's worth 10 million US, you're buying it at 5 million US. Something like that, or Bahamas or something like that. That'd be interesting. And then they also do mention that, what else? They said diversify the client base. The company's parent company. Yeah, good old diversification.
But here's my problem though, because like suppose you're at capacity with the current customers. Do you plan to build out new storage facilities and so on?
Well, are they at capacity? It would have been nice, I guess, if they told you more about, Because how,
Yeah.
like, okay, they have the 600 and what is it, 650 thousand barrels.
Storage.
How I'm trying to understand, like, how does that? So
I
if
know
you're,
exactly what you're asking. Like, how does that translate?
yeah,
Like, how much of it is, are you at capacity all the time? Is everybody paying
yeah,
for those, paying storage fees
like
for
how much
all of
more
that? Like,
business could you take on from the
mm-hmm.
existing, like with your exit? Is it like, oh, they legit could do 100% more business or 100% more revenue with the existing capacity?
Yeah,
Is it just that,
yeah, that
hey,
would be
all they
good
need
to
is
know.
this? They just need their parent company Whipple to just sign up some new deals? Because I say here, the company's parent company Whipple, West Indies Petroleum
Mm-hmm.
Limited, has the
You
exclusive
mean,
rights to expand
oh, yeah.
into 34 regional countries or more via a major global supplier. So I don't know
Yeah.
so that could mean that that person is then the parent company is going to buy all these oils and stuff, and then they might store some of them here because we have a good it could be other Caribbean countries in the region, and then we are kind of like, if you look at Jamaica on the map, we're kind of centrally located. You can easily get from there, and then there's a Panama Canal right next to us, so I think it's a good location there. So they say, hey, we may do a lot of that business in those other countries through this terminal in Jamaica, so we can just extract more value um from this asset.
Yeah, that's
And they say
true.
West Indies Petroleum Terminal Limited will benefit directly from this expansion and diversification. And they say West Indies Petroleum Limited currently supplies 10 countries in the region. So think about that. They're doing 10 countries. And then they're saying we could do 34 other countries,
Mm.
or more, they say. So that's the thing I was thinking. I was like, hey, that would be a big deal because that would allow them to get more business through it. And then their business model, I think the business model is pretty simple. As you mentioned before, it's like, hey, there's a specific price. It's just how much you're storing. You just have to pay an amount. So if you
Mm-hmm.
are storing, if 10% of what is there is yours, but you bought it, then yeah, you just have to
All
pay
right.
me I don't know, every week, every month, every quarter for whatever you're storing. And then when you need it to get moved, you have to pay me too. So it's a
Yeah.
pretty simple
And I
business
mean,
model. I'm sure they can
it's
raise their
oil.
prices against like inflation and stuff like that too. Oh, the other
Exactly.
thing. Wait, there's one other thing I was saying. Remember how we spoke about um the possibility of Jamaica finding oil? Think about
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
You
And
don't
what that
think
would
that would
mean.
be huge for them? Because then if we were able to then find oil in Jamaica, I think they're one of the cool parts about their business model that they had said was that they don't actually buy from Petrojam, which is like Jamaica's
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican petroleum refinery, Petrojam. Uh, they don't buy the oil stuff from them. They buy it from the US because they have
Yeah, the
and they
import.
get better. Yeah, they get better, but then they're able to like avoid the was it like the avoid the taxes or something from that. So it's like, it works out a lot cheaper or something like that, or they get a much better price compared to,
Mm.
I think that, let me show where it is.
You mean the
So I was
CESO
thinking
stuff? The special economic
this,
zone?
yeah, something like that. Yeah, that
So
stuff.
it's
Yeah.
cheaper. Yeah, but they still
Yeah,
pay
basically they
tax. But
just
yeah, it's still
they
cheap.
get oil way cheaper than a lot of other places. So that helps with their
Mm-hmm.
profit margins or, well, no, actually it doesn't. Hmm.
It does
Okay,
help
it's
with their
not.
profit margins because they don't pay as much tax to
No, but they're not buying the
um
oil. They're storing
it's the
it. That's
parent
what I was saying.
company. Yeah, the parent
Yeah,
company
that's what I was
buys the
saying.
oil.
Company, yeah,
Uh
that's what I was saying. Yeah, but I mean, that still is better because then if the parent company is able to get oil cheaper, then they might be able to get more business, and then they'll store more. So then,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, I was saying something like that. Imagine if Jamaica was to find oil, that could possibly greatly reduce the price of oil because maybe instead of buying from yes, that would take a few years and whatnot. But you don't think that if Jamaica was to be able to buy oil instead of having to buy it from the US and then ship it down here and do all that stuff,
They'd have
you
to
don't
buy it
think
from
that it would be?
Petrojam because Petrojam, in my opinion, would be the refinery because they'd have to still refine the oil, the
Well,
crude
I
oil
don't know if
that
we
you
have
find.
I don't know if it's, maybe they could buy some from Petrojam, but I don't know about the capacity really of Petrojam in
It
terms
would
of how
have to
much it's actually
increase.
refining.
It would have to increase, and the government would have to be pushing to make that increase.
Uh,
Uh
I hear you, but I don't know if they have the money for that.
Yeah,
You have to think
I
about how
don't know
much. You know how
either,
much that costs? Have you ever looked at a home? I remember like looking up how much. When someone
bro.
told me about
It
how much it
finding
costs.
oil, money just comes out of nowhere. Money just comes from the
Hmm.
sky. We'd find a way, or because think about it,
Yeah.
how we earn funds now is mainly tourism. I think the
Mm-hmm.
government has been looking to diversify how it earns money for a very long time. And in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, outside of oil, the next best bet is we are just a logistics hub. So doing that, doing like a lot of logistics type stuff, that's the next big bet. Manufacture it is difficult because of energy costs and so on, but it would be great
Mm-hmm.
if we found oil for that. So I just think that the government would start to shift a lot of focus. Yes, tourism would still be big and booming and so on, but they would
Mm-hmm.
shift and allocate a lot more resources to build out this oil refinery and just infrastructure for oil on a whole. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you mentioned quite a bit of things with this company because you said yes, it's a simple business model. I think that this is the type of business model that institutional investors like pension
Mm-hmm.
funds, insurance companies, and so on. They like they like
Mm.
tangible
You sound
stuff.
like
They
you're
like
trying to
things they
sell
can
their
touch.
APO.
Hey, I see them buying into that APO, and hey, I can get on board with that. If not, if it's a very tiny general public pool, because right now, even if they list by introduction, if the top companies, like if the top two companies don't sell, even if
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Booth sells all his stake, it's still not a lot would be traded. So that the
Mm-hmm.
float would be extremely, extremely small. So if the general public in an APO isn't given a huge pool and they already have the financing backed by pension funds and so on, I could still see the stock flying even after. It's all
Mm-hmm.
supply and demand
Wait,
with
flying when?
APOs. Well, not flying. Let me not say flying. Let me temper it because stocks don't fly after an APO from what I've seen. However,
Mm.
it can still move
Tropical
depending
didn't
on
fly?
no. Tropical
Oh.
tanked after the APO. Tropical
Mm.
hasn't. There are a lot of stocks after it. Hey, you're just trying to draw me out with this anti-APO agenda. I'm not here for it. I'm saying that this APO could, if it's structured right, could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm finding a hard time believing it myself. This is me trying to sell it still. um,
Mm.
but
You said just get
still,
some
I do
management
think,
fees.
yeah, I still think institutional investors would love this, and this would be a dividend player in my opinion. This is such a simple business model. You're getting cash from the fees, the storage fees, and so on. If the company is good and well run, this could pay good dividends. This could actually pay some nice dividends. So
Mm.
let's see.